Well, hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to be whittling a hillbilly wood spirit while sitting around my fire pit. I'll be using the Whittlin Jack carving knife, and I'm carving a crepe myrtle clipping that I got from my backyard. I'm also doing something a little different for this video. One of my other hobbies is writing fictional short stories, and I thought I'd read one of my stories while you watch me carve. This story is called "But It Worked for King Solomon," and the setting is the Appalachian Hills of North Georgia. I don't know how, but this story was a runner-up in a contest back in 2014, and they placed it in a short story collection called The Story. Anyway, I hope you enjoy the story and the video. But It Worked for King Solomon by Stephen Scott Johnson. As he read the family Bible on the cabin porch, old man Jed heard an awful commotion in the distance. Across the pasture he spotted some strange goings-on. "Must be those two Darcy boys," he said to himself. He pulled both overall straps up and sucked deeply on his pipe. The plumes of pipe smoke rose like ghosts, drifting up into the Appalachian foothills. After several minutes, Jed's curiosity got the best of him. He set down his pipe and the Bible to make his way over to the rambunctious boys. An apple-scented cloud drifted behind him for a ways. "He's mine! Say it, Nate!" Pete Darcy had both arms wrapped around his brother's chest, a bear hug, but no love in it. Nate Darcy broke his brother's grip and punched him in the eye. "That's my pup. Now let me be." "That dog's mine, and you know it. I'm going to whip you something fierce." Both boys looked like they had just been run over by a stampede. Black eyes, ripped shirts, chunks of hair torn out, bloody mouths. The bewildered pup strained against the rope, trying to pull over the oak tree he was tied to. Now, what in tarnation's going on here?" asked old man Jed. "Could hear you young'uns clear across the field. What's got into you two?" The boys were fighting over a 6-month-old red-boned pup. He was a sight to see, with his hazel eyes, the long, drooping ears, and pleading expression. He was obviously well kept. The rich red coat glistened in the afternoon light. It would make a fine coon hunting dog for one of the Darcy boys, but which one of them rightfully owned the dog? "You fellers come back to the cabin," said old man Jed. "I know exactly how to settle this." Both boys refused to let go of the terrified dog, but they followed old man Jed back to the cabin. Once they arrived, Jed went inside and brought out an axe. He took a few minutes and ran the file across the blade. The freshly worked metal shimmered in the sunlight. Both boys gaped at the axe, but said not a word. "Okay, Pete, you hold the front paws. Nate, you hold the back paws." Pete looked defiant. "What are you going to do with that there axe?" "Hush! Now do as I say. Lay him right here beside my rocking chair. Pete, you pull that way. Nate, you pull the other way." Each boy looked stumped, but absolutely refused to let go of his dog. "Now I'm going to count to 3, and then I'm going to chop that there dog in 2 equal pieces. That way you can both have a part of him." What the boys did next confirmed their reputation for being the meanest, stubbornest, evilest kids around those parts. They both pulled hard, stretching the helpless little hound across the porch floor. "Okay now, 1. Old Jed raised the axe back on his shoulder, fully expecting the true owner to let go of the dog. "This has got to work. It worked for King Solomon, right?" 2. Old man Jed noticed that neither boy had flinched. A bead of sweat broke out on Jed's forehead. Tightening sensation moved into his gut. "This here's a huckleberry above my persimmon," he thought. 2.5. Old man Jed was desperate. The lone bead of sweat joined with others and cascaded down his cheek. Dear God, what had he got himself into? Though Jed knew in his heart he would never harm the poor hound, he also knew the predicament that had found him. Fortunately for Jed, Duke Parson entered the scene. The hammer on the old flintlock made a distinctive click as he pulled it back. "Jedediah, what are you doing to my dog?" At the first sight of Parson, both boys released the pup and ran like a legion of boogeymen were chasing them. The pup yelled and ran faster than a speeding musket ball. Old man Jed stood, white as a sheet, the axe dangling by his side. Slowly, the old man picked up his Bible, addressed the angry and confused Duke. "Duke, you know that thing in the Bible about Solomon and the baby being cut in half?" Duke twirled the bulge in his left cheek and spit tobacco juice on a minding-her-own-business laying hen. Yeah, what of it? Old man Jed mustered a half-hearted smile. Well, Jed paused and scratched the stubble on his chin. He had an idea. Never you mind. You want to play some chords? Got some fresh rabbit stew cooking in the pot. Duke lowered and uncocked his weapon. He then pulled out a mouth harp, and the old man Jed grabbed his banjo. The two men were happy neighbors again. They played late into the night, and the cows never came home. Pretty sure the music's what kept them away. The end. Well, I appreciate you watching and putting up with my storytelling, and we will see you in the next video.